Ministry of Education, I have a bone to pick with you. Why are so many Jamaicans ignorant of their own history? Why so much dunce people in my comment section? Oh my God, people, stop it. The Jamaican accent is not an African dialect.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to this channel once again. My name is Tim Tacey. Kindly for watching me for the first time. Remember to subscribe, like, and also comment. So guys, I want us to watch this viral video from a Asian lady. She came out and lectures on Jamaican culture. She is saying that Jamaican accent is not an African accent, and also said that Jamaican Patos language is originated from the Irish people. And she also said that any foreigner, African people who wants to go to Jamaica must have a passport or a visa. So in today's video is a combination of video. A majority of Africans and Jamaica, they have come out and replied to him. So kindly guys, before I dive in, let's watch these videos until the end, and then I'll come back with more comment.
Jamaican accent, like everything associated with modern Jamaican heritage, is in fact the byproduct of the cultural melting pot that our motto embraces. In fact, in terms of cadence, it's most similar to an Irish accent.
I've been shook enough now, to be honest, since the racing is a bit tired now and the legs are like jelly, but yeah, I suppose we did a bit of celebrating and did the podium thing and got to put on the podium pants as well.
You see, as early as 1656, Oliver Cromwell ordered 2,000 Irish children to be taken to Jamaica and sold to English settlers. The extent of Irish immigration to Jamaica was so prolific in the centuries to follow that 25% of Jamaican citizens can claim Irish ancestry. And this includes Bob Marley and Marcus Garvey. So if you never know, now you know. Again, out of many, one people. My fellow Jamaicans, me come for drink milk, but be there cocoa. It is abundantly clear to me that there are people who live foreign and identify as Jamaicans, but you don't have one of these. And while you're entitled to your opinion, one is a set a rascal does. So let me set the record straight. Number one, Jamaica is not an African nation. It's not a black country. We identify as an ethnically diverse society. People, please just stop it. Out of many, one people, Jamaicans. We do not hyphenate and we do not encourage separation by race. Number two, this one's mine. This is my granny own. This one is my mom's. And this is grandpa. Yeah, it's hardcover. Grandpa died a long time ago. If you are planning a trip to Jamaica and you don't own one of these, you're going to have to book a return flight from where you came. These are the rules. I'm just laying it down for you. If you go to Jamaica and you don't have one of these, immigration will stamp your passport and give you a set amount of time that you're allowed to stay in Jamaica. And if you overstay your welcome, we put you back on a plane and we send you back. You, not me, you back to the country from which you came.
Chinese Jamaican women
Now,
is teaching Jamaican descendants their history.
Have comprehension issues, so we're going to try this again. There is a fundamental difference between Chinese laborers that were brought to Jamaica in the 1800s as indentured laborers and Chinese corporations linked to the People's Republic of China that is a communist government. So over here, we have these people and they don't like these people, but they're the same people technically. So these people move from Yasso and come over Yasso with these people here. All right? These people soon come back. Now, when these people arrive, there are these people. As you can see, there's plenty Coca-Cola. We have ginger beer, Inca Cola, and orange cola. All right? Now, at first, these people didn't get along because they are separated by culture and language. But eventually, these people started to understand each other. And they're like, one day, hey, let's run a boat. So then these people brought their ingredients to the pot And these people took from their culture and put their ingredients into the pot. This is out of many sodas, one stew. Why are so many Jamaicans ignorant of their own history?
Why do people from other races always want to be the historian for black people? Mama, you hear me? Leave Jamaican black people history alone. Tell us about your Chinese history in Jamaica. See me? Tell us why your family left your massive country of 3.7 million square miles to come live in a country that is just over 4,000 square miles, to set up shop in poor communities to live off of black people. Tell us why. Give us the blood-clad history on that. You all have made your riches and your wealth from these poor black people. No. Tell me something good that you've given back to these poor black people. Tell me something great that you've done for these poor communities. You've been in Jamaica for centuries, living off poor black people. Without black people, you would be nothing. Some of these stupid poor people neglect buying from their own people just to come and support you and your family at your store. Yet still, most of you don't have a black friend. See me? The most black people you guys speak to are the ones that you employ. And you watch them like a hawk to see if they're gonna steal from you. You will never see Mr. Chin and his family at any community functions. See me? Because them not deal with black people. You see me? You will never see Mr. Chin's son chilling out at a dance with him black friends, because him not have black friends. You'll never see Mr. Chin daughter at a party with her black friends, because she not keep black friends. You understand? So much for this blood-clad idiot matter out of many one bomber-clad people. No, part of the Chinese culture and history is that they eat dogs, they eat cats, they eat worms, they eat roaches, and they eat lizards. I remember growing up in Kingston. When black people dogs would come up missing, they would blame the Chinese. See? And they would tell us not to go buy lunch from the Chinese restaurants because the Chinese put dog meat in their patties. You see me? I remember seeing a picture in the newspaper that was taken at the back of a Chinese restaurant, and it had dog parts on it.
A number of people have tagged me in a video with this woman talking about, you know, Jamaicans, they are foreign attack, this and that, and if you don't have a Jamaican passport, you are not Jamaican. Listen, I'm gonna do an in-depth video on my YouTube channel, but let me just say this for now. A whole lot of y'all were in my comments defending this woman when she said we are a bunch of dunce. Like gonna love to do with light bright people, a bunch of run come become rescue her because she is only talking about the accent. It was never about the accent, and with every other video she's making it very clear, it's not about the accent. It's always been about erasing our African identity, because if we cling to our African identity, then we disrupt this picture of the racial harmony that they want to create. And without this picture of the racial harmony, then they feel that their positions of power at the top of the social hierarchy is threatened. So now she feels emboldened to tell y'all who is Jamaican and who isn't. I'm not gonna stitch any more of that content or say anything more about it, because it looks like she's posting through other people, and I personally want to address her directly. So I'm not gonna stitch any more of that content, because if she's hiding her identity, then you can't confront her. So it's a waste of time. She's just seeking attention. Anyway, in the same way, I will not be schooled about what my language is or what my identity is. I'm not going to be schooled by any light bright about who I am or whether or not I'm Jamaican. Y'all are going to have to sit with the fact that someone whose ancestors came to Jamaica for economic benefit is able to tell the descendants of the people whose blood was shed for the freedom of this country that they are not Jamaicans.
So there's a video going around of what appears to be a Chinese Jamaican woman really coming for Black African people from Jamaica, particularly those of us who live foreign, in relation to issues of blackness, Africanness, and the possession of a passport or lack thereof. People are sending me this video and ask me what I have to say about it. And the reality is, I have nothing to say to she. Any non-African person from Jamaica or anywhere else in the world that has a problem with Africans from Jamaica, yard or foreign, asserting our Africanness and our blackness, that a feeding problem. This is not something that we should feel the need to justify, apologize for, or even explain, especially when you consider the colonial and neo-colonial experience of African Jamaicans and how that results in the migration of African Jamaicans, as well as the extent to which the colonizer attempted to sever us from a sense of heritage and a sense of culture. That alone tell you everything what you need to know about the mentality of the smaddy will make that the video there. So when I have not more to say about that except to affirm the teaching of Marcus Mosiah Garvey when Africans of his time were being challenged in relation to our affirmation and assertion of racial and cultural pride. Let contrary sentiments and cross opinions go to the winds. We are entitled to our own opinions and not obligated or bound by the opinions of others. Awo. Having said that, I was listening to Running African, hosted by Sister Kabo Ma'at Keru Wadeya, and she featured a story on some events and conversations that were taking place in Jamaica on this issue. Take a listen.
You notice that there is a big conversation going on here in Jamaica right now about Mark Golding and whether or not he's black or white. And you heard a response where, we have all kinds of people, because the motto is out of many one. So this is what we're hearing now, right? That, we have Chinese Jamaican, we have Indian Jamaican, and so on. And the person who was speaking, I think it might have been Mr. Morgan himself, called out every other race Jamaican apart from African Jamaican. That in itself was telling.
So it does seem, yes, that the African Jamaicans' assertion and affirmation of our Africanness does seem to make some people very, very uncomfortable. And we should be aware of this and what agenda it serves. But beyond that, make we assert our Africanness and our blackness without fear or favor. And not make nobody make you feel shame or make you feel like you do them something wrong when you assert your blackness and your Africanness. Our heritage and our culture cannot be bound by a passport and cannot be dictated to us by anybody other than ourselves if we are guided by the principle of self-determination.
So you think you're English? You think you're Anglo-Saxon? I wish some of you would go to England and say some of these things to these white people, because they'll quickly put you in your place and tell you to go back to Africa. You are the only ones who don't know where you're from, and it's really sad. Yes, you speak Patois. What do you think Patois is made up of? A lot of it is African words. And if you really want to know what tribes we came from, it's so easy. Just look at the language that we speak, which is Patois. A lot of the words are from the Ashanti tribe. I'm just surprised that a lot of Jamaicans don't know these things. It's basic history, really. But it just shows you how much the education system has failed us, because we don't know ourselves. Most Jamaicans struggle with English. In fact, not just Jamaicans. Most black people in the West who speak the language of their colonizers struggle with the language. That's why you end up with Creole and Patois. We have to mix up the African in there to express ourselves. English is not ours. It belongs to another group of people. Languages are born out of a culture. English didn't come from us. There are so many simple things that tell us who we are. There's so much African retention around us, including the fact that we speak patois. It's not rocket science. And it's just shameful to see this display of ignorance on social media. I'm so tired of this narrative. It is simply not true. And I don't know where it started. I don't know who is trying to create this propaganda that Africans don't accept us in the diaspora. It is not true. A great majority of them love us and embrace us and want us to come over there and connect with them. Sure, you have a few that may be saying, oh, you know, don't come over here. But I mean, it's one and two, and most of them are just not in their right minds. Just like you have piece of shit Jamaicans, but I'm not going around and saying, oh, Jamaica is hell because you have a few people who aren't very nice. Check the comment section of the last video that I posted. It is full of comments from the continent, all over the continent. Even on Instagram, I have 50k followers on Instagram. About 90% of them are Africans. Africans love us, especially Jamaicans. Okay, maybe they don't like Black Americans so much, right? And you can understand, you know, I love my Black American brothers and sisters, but y'all are hard to deal with sometimes, especially when you come to other places where other African people are. You know, you come with your entitlement, you come with your attitude, you come with your complaining. Like, it's very difficult to deal with y'all because you're American, you know, and that's just the truth. But we love in the same way, you know, but it's not just hard to deal with. But Africans love Jamaicans. They love Jamaicans. Ghana, they act just like us. They actually act like us. That's how much they love us. Come on. And the rest of Ethiopia.
Hello guys, welcome back. I hope you have watched the full clip how this Asian woman is trying to show us Jamaicans. She's trying to teach Jamaicans their culture. She's saying that Jamaica is not in Africa. I can agree with her 100%. Is Jamaica is not in Africa. Jamaica is in Caribbean country. It's the third largest country in Caribbean. She's also saying that Jamaica is trying to copy the African culture and saying that Jamaican accent is not an African dialect. I disagree with this lady. Firstly, Africa and Jamaica are the brothers and sisters. When you go to history, most of the Caribbean people were taken here from Africa through slavery. And the only people separated these African people and Jamaicans were the white people. And she is saying that Jamaica, Patois language is originated from Jamaican Patois language is originated from the Irish. And she also said that Bob Marley and Marcus Garvey were the Irish. I want to disagree with these people that Patois language has the full of African words. That lady, she has explained well that Patois language has full of African words. And during colonization, Jamaica, most of the Caribbean were taken here in Africa through slavery by the white people. Most of those white people had a plantation. So our brothers and sisters here in Africa went to Jamaica to work in their plantation. So when they reached there, that's how the Caribbean countries came up. And Patois language is the origin their words are from the Africa. We have seen a Twi language. This Twi language, when you compare Twi language with the Jamaican's Patois language, it's just it look like the same. And when you also compare the Yoruba and Ekpo language, some of the Ekpo language that is in Ekpo language, this is the same words that is in what? In Patois language. So This is showed as strongest that Jamaicans' Patos language, its origin is from Africa, and most of the Jamaicans, most of the Caribbean people were taken here in Africa were mostly in West Africa, which is in Ghana and Nigeria, and you will find that Yoruba, this language of Yoruba, Twi language, Ekipo language were the mostly language that were mostly people that were taken here in Africa. So you will find that Africa and Jamaica has solid relationship. It's and I normally say that the Africa normally view Jamaicans as the our child abroad, and also Jamaicans view Africa as the Mama Africa. And this lady, she is approximately far. Their country is 3.7 miles far from Jamaica, and Jamaica has only over 4,000 miles. And he is trying to lecture we as the African language. He is trying to lecture the Jamaicans culture, and she is also say that in anybody if wants to be to Jamaica must have a visa. This is not right, because this lady is not an Africa, and this message she is saying is she was targeting the African people who are living in Jamaica, because most of the African people are in Jamaica. So she is targeting those people that they must have a must have a visa. And this is the liberation that has started. Before we want to have even a direct flight from here Africa to Jamaica or Caribbean people, because we don't have any direct flight. And this is what I told you, that these Asian and Chinese, they have taken over the Jamaicans, and that's why they are so furious when they see Jamaicans and Africans are united, because they just want to colonize the Jamaica. And that's why they are so furious seeing the Africans going to Jamaica. So that's why they want to have a visa. If I want to just to go to Jamaica, I don't want to have a visa. I just took a plane and go to Jamaica. I don't want to have a visa. And that is the message that most of the Africans just want to have that strong relationship. So coming out and saying that Jamaica must impose the visa so that each and everybody must know. This guy is a Chinese. She is far from the Jamaica. Jamaica is not North America, and she is from Asian. And Jamaica and Africa are the brothers and sisters. And she also talking about the culture. And some of the when she's talking about culture, Africa and Jamaica has the same culture. When you look the dressing code of some the people in when you go to Ghana, you will find the Jamaican flag everywhere. And even the food, that food that is normally come from Jamaica is just the same food like here in Africa. When you look also the how they really plan their food is just here in Africa. So as I conclude, let's interact in the comment section how you really view that lady saying that Jamaica accent is not an African as dialect. And let's interact in the comment section. And also, do you support this lady that each and every African, if you want to go to Jamaica, you require to have a visa? Is it right? So let's interact in the comment section. Bye for now. See you next.